Here's a tutorial on how to use the drop and slide script for After Effects. In the control name input, type in what you want to call the null that the effects controls are located. In the drop-down menu control name, type in the name of the switch you want to use as the drop-down menu pull-down. In the pull-down, you have the option of using layer names, numbered name, or custom list. I'll show you how that works. With layer names selected, select the comps in the order that you want the list to be, and hit drop and slide it. And you can see it created a layer switch up here called layer switch, and the name of the null is called layer switch control. And here's the pull down with all the layer names listed. If I have numbered name selected and say I'll call this one layer with them selected, hit drop and slide, and it creates a list using layer numbered 1 through 10 because I had 10 layers selected. If custom list is selected, it'll create a list based on all the entries in the list. I'll have this set to comma separated words. No layers have to be selected. Hit drop and slide it, and it creates a drop down based on all the words on the list. Let me show you how easy it is to control opacity. First, what I'll do is I'll dock the script to make it a little easier to see everything. I'll have all the layers selected. Turn on create layer opacity expressions. I'll have it set to basic to begin with. Drop and slide it, and it creates a drop down with all the layers that controls the opacity. To control position, I'll hit create layer position expressions. I'll turn off opacity, have it set to basic. I'll have this set to Y position. I'll have the layers selected, and it creates a drop down. It doesn't appear to do anything. What needs to be changed is the position change slider. Change that there, and it'll automatically change the position of the layers that are selected. It will do similar for scale and rotation, providing various forms of control over all the attributes. Creating a text layer that is controlled by the control menu is rather simple as well. Just select create text menu. Here I have it set to same as menu item names, so it'll use these names. Drop select it, and there it is. Creates a layer switch control where I can easily choose which words to use. Similar to the drop-down menu item names, there's a pull-down that allows you to select the layer name, where it'll actually, when you select the layers and create the text, it'll be named after the layers that were selected. In this setup, it's using the layer names as the text, but using the custom list names for the drop-down. For creating text, there's also the custom list. So here I have 1 through 10 entered. I'll hit create drop and slide it, and it creates a drop-down. It says 1, 2, 3, but it'll be numbers instead, based off of the list in the custom list. When creating text layers, at any time you wish to change the text inside, you can just edit the expression, and it's right in there. One other option is the dynamic menu item names. This is for After Effects 2026 and above. What happens when you use this is it creates a text layer that is based on the actual menu item names. And then, if you want, you can change that using the edit. So I'll change this 2 to 2. Now it says 2 here, and the type will represent that. You can also combine all the effects. So I'll have it create custom layer expressions and create text layers. I'll select the layers, drop and slide it. So it creates a text layer and controls layer opacity of layers. Here's how layer time remapping works. Here I've got an image sequence comp that's pre-comped. It's numbered 1 through 10, then it exits. What I'll do is I hit create layer time expressions. I'll have this set to basic, and I'll have this selected, and it creates a drop-down that controls the time remapping. You can create a text layer with this as well, so you can see what's going on. And now for the fun stuff. Here's the slide portion of the tutorial. Select Create Layer Opacity Expressions and select Advanced. Select the layers, hit drop and slide, and it looks very similar, but as you can see, there are a whole bunch of different sliders and checkboxes. Let me go through them. Starting with the drop-down, it's similar to what was shown before. But then there's the drop-down offset slider. When sliding this, it'll automatically switch between the layers. If I select the snap offset, it'll clip it so that opacity is either 0 or 100%. When loop is checked, it'll loop through all the layers. When spread is adjusted, it'll select the outer layers as well. I'll change this to 2, and it'll show 2 other layers. If I change it to 3, it'll show additional layers. To better show you how spread, curve, and bias sliders work, I've created a comp with a whole bunch of lines. Here I'll adjust the spread to show you how it looks. Right now the curve is set to 0, so it's pretty angular. If I change the curve a little bit up, it creates the curve like that, and I bring it down, it makes the curve look like this. This is adjusting the opacity and the Y scale. If I change the bias, it makes it look like this. And here's what it looks like when I adjust the slider. In this comp, I've got a bunch of layers layered up on top of each other. If I select them all and hit the Create Opacity Expressions Advanced and create a slider, it creates a transition effect. If I have it set to loop, it'll loop through them all. Here's what happens when you turn on Create Text Layer and hit Create Text Opacity Expression. I'll select all the layers and I'll create it. It creates a text layer. Now when I go to the slider, it'll actually fade it depending on which layer is selected. If I change the spread to something like 0.5, it'll make it more pronounced. The same opacity expression is applied when you hit Create Layer Time Wrap Expressions and you click on Opacity. Change this to 0.5 and I'll adjust the slider. When this is applied to a time remapped layer, it creates an additional frame offset slider on that layer. So I could duplicate this, move it over, and then change the frame offset. Say I'll change it to 1, and that makes it 3. And then when I go to the slider, it's always 1 ahead. Plus this can be animated. If at any time you wish to remove expressions from layers, just select the layers, select what you had done to it, and hit Remove. And it'll automatically remove that expression from that layer. And that's how you use the drop and slide script for After Effects. Thanks for watching.